and I checked my PO box and I see new goodies from ColorIt journal. Oh yeah. So excited. I want to run home and open these up. So let's open this baby up from ColorIt. I did not know they were from Las Vegas. This is ColorIt, and I think it's funny. I've got my ColorIt watercolor brush pens, watercolor brush markers on my desk. I love these, so I'm really excited for their new journals. I've been using my journal a lot lately. It's actually just right here. I keep it handy, and I've been doing lots of journaling in it, so I'm so excited for these new ones. Here they are. They're so cute. Oh, I love a brand new journal. This is the one that I have been using, the Fine Line Floral, Fine Line Flower. And you can see that it is a new and improved journal. This one is the same size as the original. You can see mine's the dirty one, but I did keep the little info sheet. So 5.5, 8 by 2, 5.8 by 8.2, 180 pages, dot grid. This is the original. These are the new ones, so the same size, double the amount of pages, the same dot grid. I wonder if it's the exact same dot grid, because on this one you can see it's a really large grid and the circles are really dark. I've been kind of keeping notes on this journal, and dark dots, and they're really big. So we'll see how the new one compares. I'm so excited. I have them like literally right here to compare to also. Oh, I just love this one with the black spine. So cute. Okay, I'll probably give this one away because I already have this one. I don't need two of them, right? Oh, makes me want to color the cover though. I want to know if the covers are different because they look a little different. I'm not sure if mine's just from wear and tear and using it, but they look a little different. I'm going to unwrap one of them. I think I'm going to keep this one. This is the Tangle Doodles design. And I just love the black spine on this one. So I think I'm going to unwrap this one and do a little giveaway with these two guys. So I'll put these over here so they don't get all messed up. So the cover is a different material. This one is almost smooth, but this one, it looks like more porous and more like paper. So you could use anything to color on these covers. Oh, how cute this journal belongs to. I love that design. Ah, it looks like the same grid, if the dots are even darker. Oh my goodness, but the paper is so much nicer. Oh my goodness, it's so thick. Okay, so the paper is so much thicker in these new journals. Kind of a reference point, here's Tomoe River paper, which is really thin, but really durable. I'm not sure if you guys are like paper journal lovers like I am, but you can kind of hear the difference. This is more like copy paper with dots on it, and then look at this bad boy. I can't even like flutter it. It's very thick paper. It's gorgeous. So I'm gonna try swatching these ColorIt watercolor brush pens. I always forget what they're called. Watercolor brush pens, because I did a swatch of them in this book and it bleeds through. I was kind of surprised that their own markers bled through in their own books, but let's try it in this one because this paper is amazing. Let's try it. I'm just going to swatch out the ColorIt watercolor brush pens. A lot of this video is just kind of playing and experimenting and getting used to this new book. I absolutely love it. You can see that there's no bleed through on the watercolor brush pens. I also wanted to show you that this is an A5 journal, so it will fit in a lot of your A5 covers that you already have. It's a hardcover notebook, so you don't need to put a cover on it, but I'm just showing you that the first one was a systemic cover off Amazon. This one is a Hobonichi cover with a cover on cover. It fits perfectly, and this is another Hobonichi style cover off of Etsy. I think it looks so cool with the black lining and the butterflies. It just looks so awesome, and it fits perfectly in all of those A5 sized covers. So if you already have a cover for a Hobonichi or another A5 journal, another bullet journal, these journals will also fit in those covers. I wanted to kind of do a little comparison over the old paper and the new paper. It looks pretty much exactly the same, but the new paper quality is so much better. I know personally I fall in love with a journal because of the paper. You know, the cover catches your eye, but the paper is what you use and what you work with every day, so you need to make sure it has good paper. I love this because it has the dots on it, so you can easily do straight lines and journaling, but they still kind of blend into the background, so you don't have to notice them. You can use the whole page. But for this one, I'm just going to make a YouTube video list idea. I don't do bullet journaling in the planning sense. I do bullet journaling in more of a running list and work book. I'm not sure. Not like a pretty planner bullet journaler. I'm more of a list maker. And I like having a place where all my lists and all my notes are together. So I made just a block letter, and then I did an ombre with the watercolor brush pens. I used some whiteout tape, and then I made a list on the right hand side. And then on the left hand side, I used these ColorIt watercolor brush pens and did kind of just diagonal shapes, triangles, and added some decoration on top. So now I have a place to do notes or a quote or anything like that. You can see here the really dark red raspberry color bled through. That's because I was doing an ombre kind of technique on the block letters, and it takes a lot of ink to blend that out. So it did get a little bit of bleed through. It's a dark color, and it's beautiful. So I'm just gonna cover it with some more markers. This style of block letter is kind of easy and fast for me to do, especially with the grid. The dot grid makes it really easy to do straight lines and titles really fast. So I'm gonna kind of do this same technique as I did block letters with kind of a two-tone color. I chose a little bit softer colors on this spread, and I just wrote out love. I wrote it out really messy in pen to begin with, and then I went back over it with the Pitt pens just to kind of outline it and make it stand out a little more. So an easy way to just do a title is to white out right through your design, and then use that whited out strip to write your title. So that's kind of the hack way to do a split title. And I just found a list off of Pinterest and wrote down ways to love yourself. In the back of every journal I always do a pen test page, because I like having a page to test out markers before I use them, or to scribble out pens so I know they're writing correctly. And on this one, I wanted to try a Sharpie, and Sharpie will bleed through pretty much any paper, and I found that as long as I didn't apply too much pressure, it didn't bleed through. On this one, I did completely do like a blackout, and it bleeds through because it's Sharpie, it's permanent black marker. But like I said, a lot of this was just testing out supplies and seeing what worked and what didn't work. Most of the time it's not a big deal if it bleeds through, because I can just write on the back or draw over it. It doesn't bother me too much, but I do like to know these things. So I wrote out my list of ways to love yourself on the left-hand side, and I thought I would just add a decorative element on the right, so I'm doing a bunch of patterns, and I couldn't really think of any, so I did a lot of hearts and squiggles, and just dashes and lines, just something to kind of fill it up quickly. And then I'm going to use the same colors. These are my absolute favorite colors from the watercolor brush pen set. It's Gorgeous Gray and Positive Peach, and they're just light colors, but they're so beautiful. They look amazing in the Hobonichi books, which I use them a lot in my Hobonichi pretty much every day, and they look amazing in this ColorIt journal as well. So, an easy way to decorate a page is just to add washi tape right around the border. So I decided to do a half spread with washi tape. I chose a really fun, bright color. These bright dot circles kind of inspired the next page. I just pulled some of the same colors from the washi tape and made circles on the right hand side of the page. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just inspired by the circle washi tape, so I drew some circles. That's how unprecious I am with my journals. I just think it's a place to be creative and have fun and not to worry about it being so pretty and Instagram worthy and Pinterest worthy, but just using it as a journal, using it to either help you write out your emotions, to get you inspired, or to keep you on track. So for this one, I'm just gonna keep going in with my little circles and making these watercolor. It's kind of cool because these brushes are like a marker, but they the final product kind of looks like watercolor. So it's a more achievable way, I think, for people who struggle with watercolor, like traditional watercolor, to achieve kind of the same effect, because it has a little bit more control, like a marker, which a lot of people are used to, but you still get the watercolor effect. So that's why I really like these brush pens. I will also have the brush pens and these new journals linked in the description if you guys are interested. I know a lot of people are thinking about their new planning systems for 2020. Also, a lot of people have gone back to school, so they need something to keep them on track, keep their notes in, and stay organized. So I will have the link down below if you guys are interested. These colors kind of reminded me of like an art hoe aesthetic, like the primary colors, and I like that in kind of a art journal or in a bullet journal because it just inspires me. I think it's a really cute kind of aesthetic and it's very inspirational. So I also drew sparkles because I read somewhere, I think it was on Tumblr a million years ago, if you like sparkle, draw sparkle. So I try and add sparkle to all of my journals, all of my sketchbooks, because it makes me happy. I also wanted to test a few more mediums. Of course, alcohol markers are going to bleed through. I think they bleed through pretty much every paper. Highlighters did amazing, no bleed through at all, and they look so cool on this like white paper. This is like a true white paper, and the dot grid is gray. I think it's kind of a dark gray, but it's not so dark that it's overpowering. This is another kind of bullet journal style that I do often. I don't know if it's really bullet journaling because I don't use it as a planner. And like I said, I'm not too precious about it being pretty. But I think bullet journaling is whatever you make it. Whatever makes you happy, whatever keeps you on track. This is how I bullet journal, or one style of how I bullet journal is I'll put down ephemera, stuff I've collected. This is stuff sent to me in Happy Mail, and it was all kind of like pink and red. And that one says Taylor's. I think that was so awesome. So I just added it all to a page and then added little boxes that I can go back in and add notes or journaling. This one, I just had some spare Post-it notes lying around with a quote on them, so I glued them in here, added some washi tape and added some stamps, and that's how easy it was. So I really just don't have one particular journaling style. I don't know, I just try everything, and I wanted to see how different styles looked in this new journal. I was really inspired by the black spine on the new journal, so I wanted to recreate that on my original ColorIt journal. I originally started with Sharpie, but my Sharpie was almost dead, so it didn't work very well. I went back in with just some black acrylic paint, and I think that was a much better effect. And it now matches. I think it looks so cool. So I still haven't colored the cover of my ColorIt journal. I just love how it looks black and white, but I really wanted them to match. So I covered the spine with just some black paint, and I think it looks so freaking cool. And now they match. I think the book turned out so cute, and I am just in love with it. I love the mandala on the front, especially this one right there. I have a mandala tattoo, so it's perfect for me. I left a blank page up front if I wanted to do an index. I kind of just want to flip through some of the pages that I did. A lot of today was just experimental and transferring over some lists from my other bullet journal, like my YouTube list and my Etsy list, and then I just pasted in some stuff from Tumblr, did some collages. This page isn't done, but it's going to be like a highlighter pixel page. I really like doing diagonals across the page also, like across the center of the spine. I think it just gives like a cool effect. I will do more bullet journal videos in the future. If you guys are interested, please let me know. This was just kind of testing out supplies and prepping this book for notes, and like I said, I'm a list maker, so I need lots of room to make lists, and this book is perfect for that. It even has a pocket in the back to store all your loose papers. Since ColorIt was generous enough to send these journals to do a giveaway with, I think it's only fair that we show some love to their social media. So I will have their pages linked in the description. Be sure to check them out. To win one of these two journals, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and all you have to do is leave a comment down below, only one comment per day, of what you would use your bullet journal for or what your favorite bullet journal idea is, so I can have some ideas to fill my bullet journals. The contest will be open 1 week and open to US residents only. I will randomly pick 2 winners and notify them privately. So good luck, guys. Happy journaling, and I will see you in the next video.